with Terri. Let's practice together. So start your music, whatever kind of music you want to use, and let's find our way to a comfortable position, whether that's cross-legged or seated any way that feels good to you. Closing our eyes, tuning into our bodies and our breath. Deep, full breaths in, using both the chest and the belly. Letting those exhales take away any tension, any stress, any worry. And letting those inhales bring you what you need to bring you into balance today. Beginning a process of softening your body, whether you work from the crown of your head down to your feet or from your feet up to the crown of your head. Let your body soften. Let your awareness bring softness wherever it moves through your body. And on this day, make sure you appreciate and send some deep appreciation to your body for all the things it does for you every day, helping you breathe and move and be strong. Let's take a moment today to bring our hands, either one to the belly and one to the heart, or both to the heart, whatever feels right for you. Just take a moment to connect with your heart, your breath, your body. And imagine that every one of your inhales is filling that heart with health and positivity and love. So filling up you and your heart so full that it begins to spill out of your heart and move through your body. Maybe you even imagine a colored light filling your body with positivity and love. And when it fills your whole body, let it start to create a little bubble around you, a bubble of positivity, of love, maybe even of protection. And then let's bring to mind those we love the most, and imagine that our heart is now sending a beam to those people, filling them with goodness and positivity and health and love from us to them. Maybe even expanding those beams to people that we come in contact with but are kind of neutral for us. A person who is still working the checkout at the grocery store and wherever else we are going to get the things we need. And then maybe you want to expand it even to someone you're at odds with. Just send them a beam and bring them to positivity, balance. And then if there's your own personal intention that you'd like to set, please feel free to do it now. Take your breaths. And release. Coming into a nice tall format. We're going to work on our necks first. So I invite you to keep your eyes closed. I'm going to try to open mine just so it feels a little more personal in case you are watching this screen, but close your eyes so you can feel your body and begin movement for your neck, whatever works for you. Side to side is usually my go-to. And then chin down, chin up. And then maybe a little ear toward shoulder. I like to get those shoulders and your whole body above the hips moving, so do what feels good here. Moving it around, waking it up, connecting with your body. And then when you're ready, take a twist, gently moving side to side. Adding in a side stretch when you're ready. Let everything you do throughout practice feel good in your body. There's enough negativity and worry in the world. Let's just feel good today. Sitting up tall, we're going to start inhaling with our arms reaching up, stretching to the sky. Maybe adding some movement for your wrists and elbows. And if you're ready for it, take a big full extension up. If you're able to interlace and lift and stretch and reach and lean. And then we're going to come back to center and release. Let's warm up those shoulders now, so you can close your eyes if you want, but let's just do 2 of the 3 shoulder motions. We have isolated, elbow led, or full arms. Think about where you need to be today. Let's go 5 rotations each way. And when you're ready, take that second motion. Now we'll use our arms to lead us into a twist, a gentle twist, but a little bit stronger, so that we're now stretching across the shoulders if possible, letting the arms swing. If that's not comfortable, just go back to a regular twist. And we're going to come from here into an arm stretch, drawing the elbow away from the shoulder, adding more neck if you need it. Taking it deeper. Other side. And deeper. Let's check in with our posture. We're going to sit up tall, reach behind, and either make fists behind us or interlace those fingers, curl the shoulders back and down, make your trench. Back of the neck is long, elbows are moving toward the back of the body. Breathing fully. One more breath here, really making that trench, opening that chest. And now we're going to release it forward, one arm over the other. We're going to round forward and reach. Feel that stretch across your shoulders, but then I want you to plug in those shoulders. Keep the back of the neck long and reach through the fingertips. Really feel that pull across your shoulders. Breathe, stretch, and release. Let's go to child's pose. So coming onto all fours and taking the knees wide if you want, or keeping them hips distance apart. Let's sink those hips back and find any position that's comfortable for your arms. Reaching out if you want to stretch through the back, making a pillow, or even going behind. Find your way to something that feels good to you. And if child's pose doesn't feel good, you can always substitute in an extended puppy. An extended puppy, we reach to the front, bring our knees back together, and lift our sitting bones, lower our forehead down, and stretch the back. So choose what works for you, and breathe. Let's lift up to all fours, coming into tabletop. So we line our shoulders over our wrists, bring our knees right underneath our hips. Take those knees apart, they're not touching. Hips distance apart. We're gonna come into our tabletop, and we're gonna find the base of our spine and move into some cow and cat poses. So from the base of the spine, lower the belly, raise the gaze, cow, and then pull belly button into spine, arch up into cat. So cow and cat. If you need to add some extra movement for your hips here, please feel free. Taking a moment, coming back to neutral spine, let's just take a moment to press through each leg, waking up both the foot and the lower leg, making it feel good, stretching it out. And then when you're ready, let's come into a hip sway, just letting our hips go one direction and then the other. Our gaze kind of goes opposite, so we get a big, deep stretch if you need it. Through the side body and the low back, and wake up the hips. One more. And then just feel free to move in a big circle or a big figure 8. Just make it feel good before we move into our spinal balance. So coming back into our tabletop, we're going to find our left leg, send it back, point the toe down. Try to be hip height with that leg, so not going way too high. Let's try right arm. You can hold here and breathe, checking in with your balance, or if you want to make it harder, on your exhales, you can bring elbow to knee. Inhales, we reach out. Exhales, we go elbow to knee. Waking up that core, adding a little more of a challenge for anybody who needs it. Honor your body though, do what feels good to you. One more, and then we're going to switch sides. So starting with the right leg, take that back. Left arm if you choose. Holding here or adding elbow to knee. Two more. Nice. All right, let's roll toward the back of the mat, stretch those feet out. So we dip our heels, then we dip our knees. If that doesn't feel good to you, you're invited to press up into a forward fold with soft knees right away. Otherwise, take a few more rocks here, waking up those feet, and then when you're ready, the back of your mat, press up into a forward fold. Feet are hips distance apart. Knees are a little bent because we're not warmed up through the legs yet, so just make this feel good. Make it about opening up the feet a little, stretching through the toes, working the kinks out of the ankles. Let's go halfway up, extend, make that little trench between your shoulder blades again. Neck is long, maybe even add a gaze change side to side if your neck needs a little extra stretching today. Bend those feet, bend those knees and lift up through the feet. We're going to go into moving chair, sinking it back. Really warming the body now. Up and down. Nice. All right, take it up, and this time sink down into chair, warming up those quads. So the weight goes to our heels. We're going to lift our spine up, and we're going to breathe. You can put your toes back down if you want. Just keep the weight towards your heels. See if you can balance this. Keep your body position the same. Lift your heels. Press all the way up. Take a moment to pedal out each leg, coming up onto the ball of your foot. then we're going to bring our arms down to the side, coming into mountain, back of the mat. Find your breath, and on your next inhale, lift the arms. Swan dive down. Now, holding that forward fold, pressing into the floor, trying to straighten the backs of the legs. Neck is loose, chest is coming closer to thighs. You can always modify with bent knees or using a block to bring the floor closer. Or, in the other direction, you can go to gorilla, walking your hands under your feet and pulling up through the arms, big back stretch. Not a great demonstration because I'm a little tight on the backs of my legs still. All right, finding the strength in your arms, we're going to walk out to plank. So start walking those arms out, coming into your plank, whether that be full plank, high plank, or knees down plank, or some other variation to protect your wrists. Holding here. Belly button pulls in towards spine. We wake up the backs of the legs, pressing through the heels. We'll be moving up to downward facing dog next, so if you are ready to go there now, you can. If you would like to build a little more core strength, stay here for a couple more breaths. And then we're all going to lift up to our downward facing dog and find some playful movement that feels good to our bodies. So whether we press through each heel or hold one big stretch on each side, or come forward into our plank, bend the knees and lift up into a modified down dog that takes out the legs and just stretches up through the back. Find your way with movement. And then move your way to a balanced down dog. Getting your best stretch up the back, even if that means keeping a bend in the knees. Ears are in line with the arms, fingers are spread, and your weight is balanced. Let's raise that right leg, coming into three-legged dog, pressing deeply through that left heel, trying to straighten that left leg. Keep those toes pointing down, keeping the hips level and squared. Let's take that right leg and bring it through, coming into our runner's lunge. Waking up the hip flexors a little. You may want to rock a few times if that feels good to you. If not, just stretch through that back leg. And when you're ready, find your strength and press up to that high lunge. Checking in with the foundation of your pose, knee over ankle. You can see your first and second toe. Hips are squared to the front, level if possible. Back leg extended, coming into whatever arm position you choose. You can go hands at heart center or all the way up to crescent lunge. Finding your way, feeling it in your body. Let's take a twist to the right. So you have options here. You can just twist it from here, elbow over knee, or take your left hand down and stack and open those arms. We're going to bring this hand down and we're going to step back to our downward facing dog. Balance it out, stretch. And lift the left leg, pressing the right heel deeper or closer to the mat for the big stretch on the right leg. Bringing that left leg forward, let's come into runner's lunge this side. Moving it around if you choose to, or just taking the big stretch. When you're ready, press up to that high lunge and check your position of that front knee, the back leg, your hips, Whatever arm position feels right to you. We're going to take a twist to the left, so you can go elbow over knee or right hand to the floor, stacking those shoulders and opening to the left. Left hand comes down, we step back to plank. This time we're going to take that plank down and lower onto our bellies. So press forward onto your toes, push the elbows back towards the back of the mat. You can go to your knees as well. Coming into a version of cobra. Whatever version helps warm up your back. So I'm going to actually take my hands off the ground today. Breathe, lift. And then I want you to choose another level, either of cobra, of up dog, or sphinx. In sphinx, our elbows are under our shoulders and our forearms are pressing into the mat. And we're breathing. Now let's do a back strengthener today. Coming back down onto our belly is going to give you some options here. We can go locust, palms face the floor. We're going to lift arms and legs and reach back. That's one version. You can go Superman, reaching out in front, or you can modify your Superman if your low back is giving you any trouble and just keep your hands here, but lift off the ground. Here we go. Choose your option. Two more breaths. And release it down. Let's stretch those quads today. Taking the right arm in front, we're going to go half bow. Raise the, or bend at the left knee and reach back with the left hand. Drawing that foot toward you. Stretching that left quad. And we switch. Left arm in front, right leg bends. We reach for it with the right hand. And now we release and press up to our downward facing dog. We're going to find our right leg. Remember, the options for getting that right leg forward are to lower the left knee and just bring the right leg forward, or to stay in your down dog and swing the right leg forward. But we're coming up into our high lunge, into our crescent lunge, adding that mini back bend, opening the chest, breathing. I'm going to give you a balance challenge here. Finding your focal point on the floor, we're going to rock or step forward, coming into one-legged balance. And then bringing those hands to heart center, we're going to step back, crescent lunge. Hands to the floor, step it back, downward facing dog. Find your left leg, find your way forward, whether you lower the right knee or just swing it forward, coming into crescent lunge. Finding that focal point, powering up or stepping forward, one-legged balance. Hands come to heart center, and we take that leg, bring it back behind us, crescent lunge. Remember, you don't have to stick your landing, as I almost fall over. And now bring our hands down and step forward into your forward fold. This time taking a big stretch for those hamstrings, pressing into the floor, going into gorilla if you need more, or moving around a little if you need it. Find what works for you. Halfway lift, extend, stretch, reach. Press down through the feet, bend the knees, and all the way up. All right, getting ready for some sun salutations. Here we go, let's find our way to mountain. So you can do these as you like. I'm gonna step back one leg, and then step forward with that leg, and then do the other side, and I'm gonna do it twice. But you can jump back at any time, do it the way that it works for you, modify, hold a position longer and not do 4, do only 2, whatever works for you. So coming into mountain, finding your feet, spreading those toes, feeling that the action of the legs, the inward spiral of the lower legs, the engagement of your core, shoulders up, back, and down, palms face away to keep the chest open. Here we go. On your next inhale, lift it up, swan dive it down. Halfway lift. Use your breath as your guide. Hands to the floor. Stepping the right leg back and then the left. Plank. Pressing forward onto your toes and lowering down. Elbows go toward the back of the mat. Find your strength. You can do cobra, sphinx, or up dog here. Downward facing dog. When you're ready, come forward however you get there. Back to the front of the mat, halfway lift, to the floor, other side. This time the left leg leads. Left leg leads, coming forward as well. Back to forward fold. Halfway lift. Back to the floor. 2 more. Do them your way. And last one. This time we will meet downward facing dog at the end of this rotation through, and we will add on. So coming to down dog and holding. We're going to find our right leg and bring it through for warrior 2. So however you get it there, coming up into your nice and balanced warrior 2. Shoulders down away from the ears, looking out over that right arm. Feel your power. Let's flip that right palm up and reverse our warrior. Remember, if your hand, keep the palm facing away. If you want to bring it to your low back, press the palm into your back to keep this left side of your chest open. Choose a side angle. Whatever level side angle you want to go. Pressing back up, we're going to straighten the leg and go triangle. So if you have a block, bring it to the outside edge of the right ankle. Otherwise, forward and down. Hand to shin, hand to floor, hand to block. Press your head back like it's pressing into a headrest. Open that top arm to the sky. Breathe. gaze over that right foot. We're gonna put our hands down just a few inches out from the toes and kick up, standing split. Straightening both legs, taking that left leg as high as you can, trying to keep it squared. We're not opening the hip like we do in balancing half moon. We're trying to keep it squared. Balance challenge, take it all the way up, one-legged balance. Come back to mountain, repeat it. We'll take a break after this side. Inhale up, take it down your own way. Halfway lift, working through the sun salutation your own way. Meeting back, downward facing dog. Finding that left leg now and bringing it through for warrior two. Finding that center of your stance. Your power. We're going to reverse it, flipping that left palm up. Remember, keep that palm pressing into the back or palm facing away so that you can keep the right side of your chest open. Continuing to breathe deep and full. Let's slide over into side angle. Pressing back up with a straight leg. This time we're going to go triangle opposite side, reaching over. Bringing our hand down, floor, block, shin. Stacking those arms, pressing that head back. Breathe. Turning your gaze over that left foot. We're going to put our hands down, stepping forward if we need to, and then stepping up into standing splits. Right foot comes down, we're in forward fold. Taking a moment to stretch those hamstrings in forward fold. And then taking those feet wider and bringing hands to opposite elbows to stretch the low back. Of course, the modification is just to stay at forward fold. Hands to the floor again, walk the feet back to the normal distance, hips distance apart, and then let's go halfway up. Stretch it long, bend those knees, take it all the way up. And release. Take a moment, grab a drink, shake it out, do what you need to do. We're going to move on and do just a balance pose today, and then take it down for some stretches. So when you're ready, bring it back to whatever part of your mat works. We're going to go a little dancer pose today. So if you need help and support of a table or a wall, you're going to use your right arm to hold onto that wall to start with. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our left, we're going to bend up our left at the left knee and reach for that left foot with our left hand. So we're going to come into a pose here. The knees pointing down, the shoulder is pulling back by the fact that we're pressing our foot into our hand and drawing the arm behind us. We're creating a nice opening through the left side of the chest. The right arm comes out. We're going to keep lifting that knee, and then if you need to add a little bend forward, we're going to try to keep those hips squared. This is not my best pose, so I'm doing the best I can here, but I am feeling the stretch on my left side, so that's the goal, and I am balancing. That's what I'd like you to do is just find your way for a stretch and a balance here, and breathe. And release. Shake it out. Other side. So we're going to get our right foot into our right hand. We're going to use the left hand for balancing if we need it. And we start by taking the knee behind, opening up that right shoulder. Then we add our counterbalance with the left arm. And we continue to move, maybe leaning forward a little if we need to, but make sure you're reaching forward. You're not just bending at the hips. We're reaching out, we're lifting that leg behind us and breathing. Beautiful, and release. All right, coming wide on your mat now. We're going to come into our goddess position. So make sure the knees are tracking the same way your feet are. Maybe give yourself an up and down movement just to make sure everything is loose. We're going to come into eagle arms but goddess legs. So we're going to bring those arms out, try to stretch out some tension across our shoulders. Let's take right over left, finding either the hug, back of the hand wrap, or a full eagle position here, drawing the shoulders down and back, tilting those elbows away. We're not lifting the shoulders, we're bringing them down, but we're tilting the elbows away. And we're finding our breath here. Maybe you want to sink a little lower, maybe you even want to add a few pulses to your squat, but just whatever you add on, make sure you can still feel it across your shoulders. All right, let's bring it up, straighten the legs, shake those arms out. We're going to go to the other side. So we come into our squat. We take our left over our right into eagle, finding our own way, finding our stretch across the shoulders, finding that deep, full breath, and choosing whatever legs we want to add on here. And release. Let's take those feet, turn them parallel. We're going to bring our hands down to the floor, coming into a wide-legged forward bend. Neck is loose. Take it as wide as you are comfortable with. We're just going to stretch here. So feet are firmly planted. Head is lowering. Back of the legs as straight as you can get them. We're going to let our legs stretch. One more breath here. And then we're going to lift up. And we're going to come down onto our knees gently. And we're going to come back to our all four tabletop position here. We're going to do a little thread the needle for the shoulders. So taking that right arm up, we're going to slide it under and press our weight to the right side of the mat. Trying to stretch that arm to the left and feeling it from the fingertips to the top of the shoulder, pressing into that mat. You can add left arm to the sky. You can add a balance challenge, taking that left leg, pointing it down, coming hip height here. And then we're going to come back to our tabletop, move it around, and switch sides. Left arm goes up, slides under, making good contact with that left arm. Adding right arm if you choose, and adding right leg, hip height. And we come back, and we're going to turn it around, coming to seated. So we're going to work a little bit on our core here today, doing some yoga sit-ups. So, in a yoga sit-up, we're trying to keep our feet flat. We're trying to keep the work in our abdominal and our core rather than just rocking up or lifting our feet to rock up. But I know you got to start somewhere. So let's do what we can here, giving you time to do, let's go for 8 of these today. So back is flat, arms reaching out. We're going to start to lower, nice and slow, trying to keep those feet on the ground. So we come all the way down. And then we're going to try to just lift up using our muscles rather than rocking up. But of course, we have to start somewhere. So do what works for you. Trying to build that strength. Here we go. 7 more. And finishing this last one. Now we're going to take it back nice and slow. Bring those knees into our chest. Roll that low back out with some circles from the tailbone. Coming into happy baby if you choose. Also rocking along that spine. We're going to stretch the hip out with a little pigeon. So left ankle to right knee. Drawing this right leg in. So the action of the left knee is moving down towards the bottom of the mat. If you're able to let go with one hand and actually press that knee away while drawing the right leg forward, you might get a deeper stretch. But it's not necessary if you can already feel it at just a regular pigeon. Let's send this right leg up and flex the foot, trying to get a stretch for the lower leg here, maybe ankle, Achilles, or calf stretch. And then point, circle, point and flex, whatever feels good, to that right ankle. And we switch, bringing that right leg in front of the left, coming into pigeon. Making any modification to get your best stretch, right side, right hip. And then let's send this left leg up and flex. And when you're ready to point or circle, please do that. All right, so we're going to bring soles of the feet together, coming into a butterfly. Try to get your palms to face up so that your chest is opening here. Maybe even roll under a little bit, make a little bit of a trench. We let gravity help us release some of the tension in our inner legs and our outer hips. And we breathe. 2 more breaths here. And then thinking about your body and deciding one final stretch before you move into your resting position. For Shavasana, please take 4 to 5 minutes after your final stretch to just let yourself be, to listen to your music. Unfortunately, I cannot play music due to the licensing rules. So you play your own music, you settle in, you find your way to a little rejuvenation time. I thank you for joining me for this practice today. I look forward to seeing you again the next time I step onto my mat. Be in good health, be safe, be at peace within. Namaste.